Hey, so not sure if you can see it, but right there over my shoulder is Rosafa Castle. Did a couple videos about it and a short. So yeah, I'm out on the balcony of our new apartment. Just moved in about a week ago. It's been crazy. And in this video, I'm going to show you around a little bit and then get right down to the nuts and bolts of what we're paying, rent, utilities, all that good stuff, and also some of the inner workings of what it takes to sign a lease and a long-term rental in Albania, at least in our experience. Hope you enjoy. While I've got you here for a second, if you're enjoying our content, don't forget, comment, like, and most importantly, subscribe. Okay, enjoy the video. The listing describes it as 86.5 square meters, but my brain still works in imperial units. So to me, it's 931 square feet. 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. Into this large-ish main room, which serves as living room, dining room, and kitchen. Out here, there's a good-sized balcony. And another over here, off the master bedroom. The flat is fully furnished too, and I do mean fully. You would be hard-pressed to find a necessity that's not included. I mean, dishes, glassware, pots and pans. In here, you got your flatware, you got your sundry kitchen tools, pantry items, and in here, all the coffee and tea accoutrement you could possibly want. There's even a couple of throw blankets for those chilly nights on the couch. The TV and the appliances, like the oven and the washing machine and the dishwasher, none of them had ever been used before we moved in. Some of them still have the stickers on them. I've spent a good chunk of time just learning to use the appliances. Not only are they newfangled, uber efficient and pretty, they speak Celsius and kilograms. Fortunately for me, our landlords left some of the manuals in the TV cabinet. I had to find the ones for the washer and the oven online, but that's old hat for me by now. Most of the places we stay when traveling don't think to leave the manuals behind for renters. Firstly, we had downsized to where everything we own fits in 6 pieces of luggage. And second, it was out the door, down the hall, into the courtyard, then another hallway. Hey Wendy, what you doing?
Moving.
Nice. Ooh, there's already up 4 flights in the elevator. It's 3 here, but in America it would be 4. Because ground floor, 0. 3rd hallway and into the new apartment. It took 3 trips, sum total of like 25 minutes. What an arduous journey.
I'm spent.
And I'm spent. From arrival in Albania to move-in day was exactly 2 months. And we purposefully came before tourist season because short-term rentals prices skyrocket in June, July, and August. Now we'd reserved accommodations through August just in case, but we wanted to find something long-term by June. April and May were spent in the same apartment at 840 euros each month. But the weakening dollar over that time meant that April cost us $907, while May was $950. For reference, if we'd stayed in that apartment into June, the rate jumped to $1,380, and then July, $1,540. So we had made our reservations through August at different accommodations that were less expensive, but still kept getting more expensive throughout the summer. So we wanted to get out of the short-term tourist rentals. Now, Albania tends to operate kind of old school when it comes to stuff like this. It really helps to know someone who can refer you. And many transactions are still cash on the barrelhead style. So if you see someone offering a long-term rental online by credit card, chances are it's a scam. As a rule, Albanians are trustworthy and honest. But the internet attracts the dregs of humanity no matter what country you're in. So best advice is to make all lease agreements face-to-face and in writing. As an old family friend used to say, contracts just help honest people remember what they said. If you've seen the Comedy of Errors video, you'll remember our friend Karen, who reached out via a Facebook group to welcome us to Shkodër. And in the tour video, she and her husband Kenrick were our guides. So Wendy reached out to Karen for some recommendations. Karen sent us several listings that she found online. Most were in the ballpark of 450 to 550 euros a month, and the most expensive one was 600, which she said was a bit high for Shkodër, but we might be able to negotiate. As we looked through the listings, we kept returning to that 600 euro one. And at one point, Wendy noticed that the railings on the balcony were exactly like the ones on the patio in the apartment we were staying in at the time. And I'm sitting there looking over her shoulder, and I look at the exterior wall next to the balcony, pale yellow, horizontal tan stripe. And then we saw the building in the background that we recognized. The listed apartment was in the same building where we were staying, in the building that we loved, in the wonderful neighborhood that we didn't want to leave. We had to at least try to see it. Again, Karen and Kenrick know the agent whose company had the listing, and she was able to give us his WhatsApp info. A couple hours later, we get the listings, and within a couple of hours, we're meeting him in the courtyard to go look at the apartment. He introduces us to one of the owners, and the two of them show us around. We absolutely adore our landlords, by the way. During the process of finalizing the agreement, we met with them 3 times. Neither of them speak more than a couple of words of English, but there's usually somebody around who they can enlist to translate. Once, it was just some random woman passing on the sidewalk, and another time, it was the young waiter at the cafe they invited us to after we signed the lease. They're just lovely, friendly folks, retired with grown kids who live in Italy and France, if memory serves. We like them right away, and they us. So it's been a great match, and we feel very, very fortunate for that. Our lease, pretty standard for Albania. The structure here is similar to most places in the US. They'll ask for the first month, the last month, and a deposit equal to 1 month's rent. The difference is here they don't call it a cleaning deposit. It's there in case you decide to break the lease, in which case you forfeit that deposit. If you don't break the lease, when you leave, the deposit will be applied only to any needed repairs that aren't regular wear and tear. If there's none of that, you get the deposit back. So 3 times 600 is 1,800. So our move-in payment to the landlords was 1,800 euros. In addition to that, we had to pay the realtor's fee, which was 300 euros, equal to half of 1 month's rent. Also, standard practice in Albania. Speaking of Reno, our realtor, he did something during the signing that I think bears mentioning. A woman in his office who was facilitating things by putting the paperwork together had printed our copy of the lease agreement in English to make it easier on us. But Reno asked her to print us one and have us sign the one in Albanian instead. And the reason for this is twofold. First, it ensures that both parties are signing identical documents, right? It also avoids any potential translation discrepancies that could become problems later. All we had to do was take a picture through the Google Translate app on my phone, check the wording, and ask any questions. Just something to keep in mind. They stood firm on the 600 euros a month, but considering what we're getting, we feel like it's a perfectly reasonable deal. The rent also includes a secure space down in the parking garage, and we don't own a car, but we will be renting cars from time to time, and there's not really any parking to speak of out on the street, so that's a bonus, even if we won't be using it much. We're responsible for the water bill and the electricity, which obviously are going to vary based on usage every month, but we expect them to come in well under 100 euros a month. For high-speed internet, we signed a 1-year contract with a company called IBC. We're paying a set rate of 15 euros a month, and that includes the modem and the installation. On move-in day, at 8 a.m., as promised, 2 technicians arrived and had the installation done in under 30 minutes. You'll likely notice that I'm referring to all of these costs in euros when I normally make these quotes in Albanian lek. That's because, for whatever reason, the rent, the internet, and the monthly elevator maintenance fee of 7 euros are being charged to us in euros. The power and water will be paid in Albanian lek. There's a currency exchange just a few minutes walk from here where we swap lek for euros and no discernible fee or commission. I looked into it. Apparently they do actually benefit by fractions of a penny per dollar or something. I don't fully understand it yet, but the point is we check the lek to euro exchange rate before we go in, and so far the amount that we receive in euros has matched our expectations. All the apartment buildings have these shutters. We initially thought people only used them when they were away for long periods of time. But it turns out they're mostly used as heavy-duty shades when the sun is just pounding on your windows. We also use the one in our bedroom at night because the streetlights out here are crazy bright. They're also great if you want to take a nap in the middle of the day or sleep in the morning. They're a safety measure during storms, and they cut down noise. All in all, they're just a genius idea, and we can't believe we've never seen them before. This series is all about documenting this massive decision to leave the US. Reaching big milestones like this is a great feeling, especially when so much of the future is just floating in the ether and hidden by clouds. You know, this apartment is a concrete symbol of the progress we're making, and we love it. So here's to pressing on through the unknown with unwavering optimism and fortitude. Thanks as always for watching. See you in the next one.